Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thanks again for joining us here on another SketchUp. This week, we have got Aaron Robleski is back, and we'll be talking about his projects. And Eric Henson will be joining us for the very first time. I've been trying to get him on the show. Fantastic artist. Glad to have him aboard this week. He'll be working on a Ralph piece that's going to be colored on a 9x12. And Mark starts a new piece today. She'll be working on Raven on a sketch cover. So stay tuned. Take a look at that. Yeah, we got some exciting things to be talking about today. We'll be right back after this break. What's up, everybody? Thanks again for joining us on another episode of SketchUp. Tonight, we have got Aaron Robleski and artist extraordinaire Eric Henson is joining us as well. Okay, and if you haven't yet, hit that follow button so that way you can keep up with all the happenings on the experience. So that way you can watch shows like the Original Art Experience on Fridays with Nick Barucci, right? And stay tuned to what we have coming up on SketchUp as well. We got some fantastic, fun guest appearances coming up between now and the rest of the year. All right, so we are coming to the close of August, and September is around the corner. And there are still several shows that are yet to be done, and we'll be talking about that in a minute as well. But let's welcome our guests. We've got Aaron is back here with Ice and Bone. We'll be looking at that, and Eric Henson, who's taking a break from being a basketball coach.
Wow.
Finally glad to get him here on this show. All right, but let's talk with Aaron here. Oh wait, before I do that, let's go over what's going to be on the art auction. And Eric, you're working on
right now. It is a blank piece of paper that will eventually become.
You got the piece of paper, and that's a good start. Some people have a hard time figuring that out.
There's no guarantees. It's no guarantees that it's going to get any better than this. But it's going to be a 9x12 Raphael from TMNT. Always a popular choice.
So that's gonna be Ralph on a 9x12. That's gonna get colored. Yes. Starting bid is 150. Right now, if you're familiar with Eric's work, you should be putting a bid on the board right now, because that is a steal of a deal.
Too kind.
And then now Mark, not Mark, but Mark is working on a Raven piece on this Teen Titan sketch cover, right? And this will just be for the character alone, right? So we are looking at a starting bid of 250. So if you want to get started on that, you can go ahead and put a bid on that as well. Thanks, Stevie B, for coming in. Good to see you back there, Kenneth. Good to see you there too as well.
All right, well, so I do have something for the auction if you want to. You
okay.
Can start a bid at $1.
Okay. Here we go. That's right.
On both sides.
And that's your artwork too.
No, it's not my artwork. It's Gerald Van Stodart. He did a variant cover for us. And I've got a laser etcher, so I'm laser etching the Nekaki on a nice little cozy. So
all right, fantastic, great. So if you want to place a bid on that, it's an easy dollar. Place that bid now. Let's get this on the board here. That's even a better steal of a deal. Okay, so
I left it in my backpack. Sorry.
Tell us about Ice and Bone.
Ice and Bone is the sequel series to Blood and Fire, which is a samurai action horror, supernatural elements to it. Nakaki is a very honorable samurai. Loves his family. He's very honorable. And during Blood and Fire, he and his master gets basically sent to a dying brother's house, and they're betrayed. And the story is Nakaki basically getting his bloody revenge on those who betrayed them. And then it was supposed to be like a 3-story arc, done and dusted, but I couldn't let it go. So Ice and Bone is the sequel. Kind of deep dives into why it happens,
Okay.
and all the kind of backstory, but also there's a lot more action in it. This this Kickstarter is the last issue, so issue 4, which is 52 pages long, and lots of kick-ass action and lots of sword fighting. Kick-ass.
Were your other issues 52 pages as well, or is it
No,
just this last issue?
just this one. Usually there were between 28 and 32. This one started at 28. Then we edited it. It was 44. Then they went back to it, and now it's 52.
Okay. And who is the artist on your series here?
Yeah, the artwork is done by Ezekiel. He's done all of the Blood and Fire and all the Ice and Bone series. He does my Enenra series as well, which is apocalyptic horror.
Has he worked on anything else? The name kind of sounds familiar.
He's worked on a few things. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he's on Instagram. He's always busy doing indie comics. So yeah, he's a wizard. He does amazing things. Been very fortunate to work with him. He's probably my longest working relationship. Yeah, I've probably worked with him for a good 8 to 10 years now. Because he started with Enenra. That's just kickstarted his 8th issue. So he's doing artwork for that, and luckily with Ice and Bone, as soon as that finishes, he'll be straight into that.
Okay. All right, I'm going to jump over to Eric a little bit, because I think a lot of our guests don't know who Eric is, and we've had you here before, Aaron. So, Eric, tell us a little bit about yourself. What are you known for? What books have you worked on, and how you came into the industry?
Well, I've known for kind of how I came into the industry. One of the first things that happened to me on my journey into comics was getting a chance to be part of a film called Comic-Con Episode 4, Fans Hope. Despite its title, it was not the 4th in the series. It was just the filmmaker loved the naming scheme of Star Wars. So he made a documentary film about San Diego Comic-Con and basically followed a few different subjects who went to Comic-Con for different reasons. There was a collector, there was the wannabe artist, me, cosplay designer, all that. And so they followed me on my path to San Diego to go to a bunch of portfolio reviews to try to get work. And when I was there, on my first review, I actually got hired by a smaller publisher and ended up doing covers for them for a while. Then the film came out a couple of months afterwards in theaters. It was produced by Stan Lee. It had a really good, it has like a very small but strong cult following. Yeah. So a lot of people remember me from that. And then I built relationships kind of like parallel to that exact experience that was happening on screen. Off screen, I was developing relationships with writer Todd DeZago, who had worked in Marvel for a long time. He wrote Spider-Man for the longest time. Yeah. And then he had a lot of indie books that he was doing like at Image. And so I did kind of like fill-ins on his independent series called the Perhapanauts at Image Comics for a while. While the regular artist, Craig Rousseau, who is the series regular, I think he had to go back to Marvel to do the Captain America, the Korvac saga. So I just filled in a couple of, a little bit for him. But I was only supposed to fill in a little bit, but I guess I had kind of latched on to the project so seamlessly that when Craig came back, we ended up just kind of co-drawing the finale. So he took not like a few pages, and I took a few pages. Like we split it up by panels. Like I'll draw this panel, so we could merge it. It'll truly be emerging. So, so yeah, that's kind of where I started, and then from there, I went on to do a lot of covers for like TMNT. Probably the most covers I've done have probably been at IDW for TMNT. A lot of crossover stuff, Godzilla, done stuff at Dynamite, Vampirella, Red Sonja. I'm sure I'm forgetting some. And then I do a lot of Lady Death covers, like Coffin Comics.
Yeah. And let's see. Did you do some stuff for Zenescope?
I don't think. No, I've never done anything for Zenescope. I did a cover for Gargoyles and Dynamite. It's just a lot of the Last Ronin, especially. So, like a lot of people did a bunch of covers for those. Yeah. But I was grateful to do quite a few for those, and then the sequel, The Last Ronin 2. But then also a lot of the artwork that I did for some of the black and white Last Ronin issue #1 made it onto a lot of licensing stuff. So it's like on the Sideshow collectible statues. Like it became the box art for a lot of the toys and stuff. One of the few artists that were on the toys. Obviously Ben Bishop and the series regulars had a huge chunk of that real estate on the packaging, but I got to do that too. So I'm sure I'm forgetting some stuff, but that's probably where people would know me, if they know me at all, would probably be from those. And then I had a creator-owned series called Eden that came out in 2019, I think. It was published by Alterna Comics, small publisher, but that was like a sci-fantasy story that some people might remember me from too, where I wrote and drew the book. Oh yeah, I never mentioned I'm a penciler. Probably.
Is that something that you're still working on?
Right now, I'm working on a book with Todd DeZago. So I can't say where it will be published. It will be published. I can say it originally was a book that was at DC. It's not going to be at DC now. We're going to do it somewhere else, and we kind of changed the characters up. But it's going to be, I guess, a supernatural crime noir. Best I can say without giving it away too much. Very dark, very gritty. Not a style I've never done a noir comic before. So I took a lot of classes by studying the work of a lot of great people that have gone before me. In particular, Darwin Cook. I've referenced a lot of Darwin Cook, and also Eisner. A lot of Eisner's work on the spirit. So it's going to be a fun book. I can't really say too much. I don't want Todd to get really mad at me. But for the last 2 years, that's why I've been so quiet, why I haven't been at shows, is because I've just been putting my head down and just doing the work. Because this is the first time that I'm not just penciling, I'm inking. I'm essentially coloring it too, not digitally, like by hand. It's an incredible amount of work. But it's work that I'm the most proud of that I've done so far.
I understand where you're coming from, because I think everybody has like their own projects they'd like to work on. That's just the road that a lot of creators take these days. For us, it's we had stuff in the back of our heads for a while, and we did our own assessment at the beginning of the year. And set forth a plan to be able to have that time to be able to work on this. So after Halloween of this year, you're going to see us, we're going to kind of go dark. Not totally, completely, but we're going to go dark. And that's mainly to give us that, the platform for us to be able to work on the things that we want to work on that are personal projects. Right. So, I mean, we'll still be around, just not in the full capacity like we've been doing these past few years. So, and we'll see how that goes. Well, congratulations on that. And we'll definitely get together more on that and see if we can help push that out, hype it up a bit there. Right. So
Thank you.
You basically, you said you had to you went to school, you took classes on writing and that.
I was just being figurative. I was kind of saying Darwin Cook studying his work was like a school, a crash course on efficiency and how to use light and dark better when you're telling like crime noir stories. But
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna go sit in anybody's classroom. I'll fall asleep. I can't do
it. How about you, Aaron? Are you a professional trained writer?
Not professional. I self-taught kind of, but yeah, never took any classes or anything like that. It was started off actually watching movies with friends, and I'd criticize it and say, "Oh, I wouldn't have done it that way. I'll do this way," and they got sick and tired of me complaining. They said, "Well, go write one." So I did, and it was a monster. I think the average for like a TV, like a film script, is like a page a minute.
Yeah.
When I finished my script, it was like 350 pages. So like it was like never going to happen. So I actually converted it into a novel. So that was the first pro I've written, and then I got hooked and then started writing prose. I wrote Enenra as a TV series originally. Got through an agency, didn't go anywhere because I'm Mr. Nobody. And one of the agents actually really thought it would make a kick-ass graphic novel. And luckily, Ezekiel was on the books. And we hit it off really well. And that's how Enenra started out. So I didn't really get into comics until very late. I'm more anime, Saturday morning cartoons generation rather than comics. So most of my collection are indies. A good 99%. I've actually, would you class Ronin as a mainstream comic? That's probably the only one I own.
You mean
so it could be
100%. Frank Miller's Ronin?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely got that. So, with not having that kind of a background, couple questions here. How do you go about finding an artist? How did you decide upon that?
Well, like I said, luckily Ezekiel was on the books for the agency, so we really hit it off with Enenra. When he was doing, he flipped over to Ice and Bone, Blood and Fire as well. I started looking for variant covers. So when I was doing variant covers with people and we hit it off really well, then I'd offer them, if it's kind of fit with their artwork, like Amor Patris, which is a supernatural horror. I wanted it black and white to get really into the horror elements. Hernan Gonzalez did a couple of variant covers for us, and I was blown away by his use of shadows, black and white. So when that came up, I kind of approached him, and he was really, really keen on it. Now he's doing Star Trek and Event Horizon, so hopefully I can lure him back for the next issue. But I've been very, very lucky finding like the right artists. Like my other series, Pillars of Creation, which is science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Addy is doing the internals, and his pages look amazing. I can't wait to show people what. He just inked the last page, so yes, they're going to be going into coloring and then lettering. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, they'll be finished, ready to start printing. It's finding the artist is very hard because as a creator, you just get inundated with requests.
Yep.
Like, oh, I'm an artist, send me some money and make me, and it's 99% of the time is like, I don't need another artist. I'm done. I've got all my projects sorted out. So, and you hear so many horror stories of people like sending all the money to the artists and then they ghost them, and they've sent thousands of dollars to them, and it's just like blows up. But touch wood, it's not happened to me, and hopefully it doesn't. So yeah, I've been very lucky.
So Describe the kind of working relationship that you have with your artists. Do you need to see a lot, or do you just let your artists just run with it? Do you go through the process of seeing the thumbnails, the layouts before they really get into it? And do you guys still like talk about it? And does it change maybe the story that you initially started with?
I mean, I used to, kind of have an idea of where the panels are going to be, and set them out that way in my head. But the longer I've worked with Ezekiel, especially, I just send him the script, and then he doesn't send me any sketches. He's done the last 4 comics, both Enendra and Ice and Bone. He's done the whole comic and sent it to me, and I think
Wow.
I've changed like one panel. Said, can you like switch that around a little bit, and that's it. The rest of it has been perfect. So
That's a
with
lot of
newer,
trust. A lot of trust.
yes, I mean I actually like it because I get the wow factor when he sends me the issue, and I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, that's so cool. And then it obviously goes to lettering, but because I think we've worked so well together, it's if I lay out on the page that there's 4 panels and blah blah blah, whatever happens, if he decides to add a 5th one to kind of bridge it or make it more flow, I don't really care as long as he's hitting those marks.
Yeah.
Or if I set out 6 panels and he only does 5 or 4, I mean, I go with what the artist sees, and because he has way more experience doing doing artwork like this than I ever will, because he does this on his day job. I mean, I have I got a 9-to-5 job I'm working at. This is more of a very expensive hobby. So yeah, I lean more into the artists if they think things work better for the page to make it more impactful to the reader, especially those turn pages, those big wow factors. Then yeah, I definitely lean more on the artist's experience, and they turn a little paragraph that I've written into masterpieces. So you can't have a comic without an artist.
Right. For sure.
Was it very difficult for you to? Because you say it took a while to get there. Was it very difficult to let go? To the point where I've never heard of it, where you don't even see the artwork until the almost end. That's incredible.
He actually approached the idea because he was sending me each page, and to be honest, didn't really need to change much. And he goes, "Well, would you be okay if I just did the whole issue? It'd make it more streamlined. It'll streamline the process because it'd be quicker, but also it'd be more consistent." And I went, "Yeah, go for it." So it didn't really affect me that much, to be honest, because he understood that if there was anything wrong with it, that he had to go back and change it. It's just been like I said, in 4 issues of 28 pages each, I've probably changed maybe 1 or 2 panels. So that's just the way we kind of jive, and he knows what I'm looking for, he knows what I'm wanting, and he nails it every time.
That's amazing.
Does he color the work as well, or do you have a color?
Yes, he colors
Wow.
it too.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
it's
do you see the artwork before he colors it? So you're seeing it pretty much at the very end on everything.
I see it finished. He sends me the finished product. I go straight to coloring after he sends it to me.
Yeah, and then you don't have too many changes, because at that point,
No, there was
coloring. If there's a change, that's
there was
quite a bit of work to go back on.
There was one panel I remember because it was funny, because there was supposed to be a guy throwing up in the background because he basically just one of the guards at the castle. You see, like they come to a big like scene where there's death everywhere,
Yeah.
and in the background, one of the guards, is throwing up, and he goes, "You missed the guy throwing up in the background." So he like went and added that, but that was the only panel that he missed. So in the whole book. So yeah, I was very impressed.
Wow.
Nailed it.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool.
That's
But his mind, leave him for the next 2 months. So leave off.
Well, that's amazing. Now,
That is-
It's really cool.
I
yeah,
think maybe that is the point. Like it does stop. It is faster.
of
There's
course
nobody
it is.
like you have to keep checking every panel, every
Yeah.
stage, and then you have to wait. And
Yeah.
then I want you to do this. I want you to control. Like I want you to change everything. And you go back and then do it. If you just like do one go without any interference, that could be a very radical way of finishing.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's very, that's, I've heard a
I've
lot of
never
stories
heard
that
of
I've
this.
never,
Yeah.
there's not too much, well, there's one guy that I know that'll do it, but there's not too many guys or teams where you see a process like that. So
Right.
from the time that you give him the script to when he hands you the finished pages, how long of a time what kind of time frame is that?
Probably looking at depending on, obviously he has his own schedule, vacations with his family and stuff. I don't think he works the weekends because he spends time with his family. But 2 months, maybe 3, depending
Okay.
on his
Yeah.
schedule and what he's doing. I
Mhm.
mean, I generally don't push him that much because I'd rather go over deadlines and have a decent, quality over quantity. I'd
Yeah.
rather have a kick-ass book and not push him if he's
Sure.
doing, if he's burned out and just needs a couple of weeks to chill out.
Yeah.
Give him that time. I'll message the backers, keep him updated, and then get the quality book in, and then obviously go lettering, and then start getting the fulfillment. And it's been like that a lot for my other series as well.
Mhm.
I mean, I learned a lot of lessons from Amor Patrice issue 2 because they initially didn't fund. So then I went to Kickstarter, relaunched it, and it funded. And it didn't even occur to me that artists have a schedule of their own. And
Yeah.
You thought
Yeah.
you owned
Like,
them
what?
completely.
I did. I thought, you have other people you're working with? How dare you? And obviously that other person was Star Trek. So I'm like, okay, well, fine. If you have to do Star Trek, I'm sure that's slightly more interesting than what I have to offer. But I mean, luckily he fit me in when he could. Finish the book. It is complete now. It's fulfilled. It just took me a lot longer to get there than I originally planned because
Mhm.
he had other things on his books. So now I do message artists, say like, when can you fit me in, rather than just hope and pray they can do it. Learn my lessons.
Yeah, but still, considering that he still has his own things to do, 3 months is still pretty quick.
Yeah,
to
generally
finish
3. I think
the
3
colorings.
average about 3 months. I've no idea how long it's going to take him to do the 52 pages. That could be a little longer.
Yeah, that one's gonna be. Yeah, that one's gonna take a little while longer. Maybe 5,
Yeah.
maybe 6 months. Yeah,
Maybe.
depending on
I mean,
what else.
especially with Christmas as well.
Yeah, that's coming around the corner. So how about you, Eric? Do you run into, what is your process like? Do you have a standard? Do you go run the normal standard process of handing in a thumbnail, getting that approved, and then laying out your pencil work, and basic layout, getting that approved, and then running from there?
Only when I do covers. That's pretty much the standard. Editors
Yeah.
want to see those thumbnails. They want to see 4 or 5 options of everything.
Yeah.
So I usually do one big thumbnail, which
Yeah.
is the one that I actually want to do, and then
Yeah.
I make the other thumbnail small, and then they pick the one that was bigger.
Does
I
it
gotta
work? Because
talk-
does it really work? Because I keep trying something like that. Does it really work if you make the one bigger?
It really works. Or either you put more detail into it.
Okay,
and then
I'll try it now.
Usually it works.
That's cheating.
It is.
Well,
But
you
no,
know,
all-
if you're asking an artist to do the cover for you or the artwork, you know, they want to do something that's going to be, you know, what they feel is going to be a
Yeah.
good cover, and they should have the eye for it.
Yeah,
As to what's going to be good. They can
It's
see
gonna
like,
sell-
what sells best
right,
in their
exactly.
style and everything that will have the best impact. So hopefully for not just their work, but for the publisher as well.
Yeah.
So
So that's
think
typically
good.
the thumbnail time that I
Yeah.
do thumbnails.
Yeah.
When it comes to like the book that I'm working on now with Todd, it's similar to what Aaron was talking about. Not quite to that level though. So we have like a shorthand, we have an understanding. It is very collaborative. I have the freedom to, you know, add panels here and there. So he doesn't need to see every page thumbnailed out. On the contrary, I ask for thumbnails from him because he is a self-proclaimed frustrated artist. So he's
Okay.
been writing comics for such a long time. He's
Mhm.
written everything, you know, at DC, Marvel. He's had such a great career, but he has had this story in his head for a very long time. And being chosen to be the illustrator that helps him bring it to life, I want to see the movie that's been living in his head for all these years. I may not be the same kind of director that he is,
Right.
but I do want to see what he has seen all those years. I might tweak it, I might make it better, but the truth is he's a much better artist when it comes to composition than he gives himself credit for.
Okay.
And because he's been around the world of comics so long and worked on some big storylines, he was at Marvel when there was still a bullpen at Marvel and in it. So he knows more of what he's doing than maybe he gives himself credit for. So I like to actually see his take on it. But that's the only relationship with a writer like that I've ever had. It's just because I know him so well.
Yeah.
And I trust his instincts. And sometimes, every now and then, he'll do a little thumbnail, and I will realize I never would have approached it that way, but I like his way better. So it's just really collaborative. No, I don't send him every thumbnail for each page, but I do send him every page when I complete it. And for me, it's just different. His reaction to that page lets me know, because I need that motivation. Hey, you're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
I really love it. It does pump me up to do the next page because I know myself. I'm probably too lazy to do it the other way around. I don't think I've ever, like Mog said, I don't think I've ever heard of an artist that is professionalism to the core. You are like, oh, I need you to make this movie for me. All right, I'll go make it by myself. I'll just bring you the movie. And that's what we all hope to be.
Yeah, just give me the script. I'll get it done.
Give me the money. Give me the script.
Yeah.
Get it done.
That's what I do.
You sit back and relax.
Like,
I'll let you know when I'm done.
Like, don't worry. You're a pretty little head. Go drink a martini, whatever. I'll take care of you, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have my gin
I'm
and
pretty
tonic.
sure I can get Mel Gibson on here.
But to your credit,
Well,
Aaron, like I'm also in a situation where I don't have the full script up front. So I get scenes. So he'll give me like 4 or 5 pages and I work on that while he's writing the next, because he's working simultaneously on like 5 different books for a different publisher. So I get what I can get when I can get it from him. So
Yeah.
I
was going to ask you, Eric. Was it harder to actually do your own story?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask.
Yes and no. Yes, in the fact that it was a huge undertaking that I had never written, uh, a whole series before. A lot of artists, historically, I hate to say back in the day, but back in the day would maybe get a chance to cut their teeth on like a single issue or writing a fill-in or something like that and get the feedback from the editors. But I don't know what possessed me to just go and just start writing it. I was a lot like you, where I was a film buff. I was into film. I didn't necessarily critique film, but I did know how I would have done it. So yeah, it was hard because it's a lot. It's a lot to learn how to do characterization, how to not find yourself just doing exposition sloppily and lazily. It's a lot. Editing yourself is the hardest part. You want to do so much, whittling it down to the most important thing that you need to communicate for the story. So yeah, that was hard. It was at the same time, it was very easy because I didn't write stuff that I didn't want to draw. So I just wrote myself out of all the hard stuff. Like I don't want to draw cars. So this is a science fiction story on another planet. They don't have cars. Great, check. No. So it's not that I couldn't, I just didn't like to do certain things. So yeah, it was harder and easier in those ways.
I never thought about. I don't know why I never thought about that angle. Hey, if I got to write and draw this, I'm gonna write stuff that I don't want to draw.
Yeah, I literally would write the story for an issue. I do the plotting. I plot it out. I do the outline. I actually start writing the dialogue. I get it all worked up, and it's so good. And then I take another pass at it as a third party artist, like I'd never seen it before, and go, I'm getting rid of that. I don't like that. And was the story better at the end? Probably not. Was it easier for me to draw? Yes.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. So, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. But okay, let's take a little bit of a step back here. So when you're doing like the indie covers for other publishers and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
How does that work for you? Do they just tell you, okay, hey, look, we want to get a cover from you. Okay, like Lady Death, do a Lady Death cover for us. Does Brian give you any parameters to go along with that, or you just have like total freedom?
No, Brian Polito is extremely organized. He works I would say years ahead. So he's already got stuff in the can that's going to come out in 2 or 3 years. So he's really organized. He knows exactly what he wants to do, and not only that, he knows exactly what his reader base want to see. Yep. So he gives parameters. He gives clarity and guidelines. Hey, we're looking for now. Sometimes those parameters are a little bit more open. So, for instance, I had to do a Lady Death cover one time, where the theme was basically Lady Death throughout the eras of time. So feudal Japan or different parts of history, during the Renaissance, whatever, futurism, all kinds of stuff. So I could pick my era. He wouldn't try to say, the only reason he would step in is if another artist did that era. So yeah, as the relationship went on, yes, there was way more freedom when it came down to the small details. But overarching theme, he pretty much always has an idea what he's looking to get when he's asking for cover.
Okay. So he has, so he's a little more specific, right? Are there publishers that just kind of like give you almost like total creative freedom?
That's a really nice way of saying it. I wouldn't have put it so diplomatically. Are there publishers that have no idea what they want? Yes. I will not name names, but I mean, I've done thumbnails before where I've sent it in, and so like some of these publishers have licenses with multiple license holders.
Yeah.
So the licensee, so like they'll have to send their artwork. So not one company will need to approve the thumbnail, 2 or 3, especially like with crossovers. And then sometimes other companies own the toy distribution rights. They also need to okay that cover because they don't want any representation that will hurt the brand to go outside of the toy sales, whatever the case may be. So sometimes I'll have like 4 or 5 different people that need to okay it. Those people work in teams. Those teams don't always talk.
Yeah.
So sometimes you'll get an approval and they'll say, go ahead with the pencils, and then I'll send it in once the pencils are done. Okay, go ahead with the inks. I'll send it in once the inks are done. And then they'll say, go ahead with the colors. And then halfway through the colors, somebody's replying about the pencils like, hey, can you flip the head the opposite direction? We're almost 75% done with colors, buddy. I don't know when you thought there was a good time to bring that up, but it's definitely not now. So that happens sometimes, and it's not because they're trying to be disorganized. It's just because there are so many moving parts and so many people. It's very difficult for these editors to wrangle all these different parties about. And sadly, a lot of times the younger, newer editors get put on that assignment for a lot of licensing work or the variant covers or gimmick covers or whatever they want to call it. They have to start there. And it is almost impossible for that young editor to know exactly how to deal with a jaded
How to maneuver and navigate.
Yeah, it's hard. So
yeah,
there have been times I've been astonished at the lack of information I've received.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been caught between like two, when you have more than one chief and you need both their approval, and the two of them don't get along, and they're just fighting each other through you.
Yep.
Yeah, and it sucks.
But anytime I have like in our team, like, I work with an inker pretty regularly. I work with a certain colorist pretty regularly. Whenever we get a job together, or I'll get a job, pencil something, I'll say, hey, well, my guys are going to come with me and we're going to do this cover together. Is that okay? I always take the lead as the lead of the art team because too many people talking is bad. I will CC them on everything, but I typically am the mouthpiece and the conduit. I will talk to everyone on the art team first and give them one vision, the editor's one vision. That's the part that I also, because of my experience prior to comics, being in the Air Force, being a non-commissioned officer, a leader who's in charge of a lot of stuff. Before that, I was in charge of lots of. It's very natural, very easy for me to say, I'll just go ahead and do that. Whereas sometimes certain inkers will say, they'll be happy for you to take that job because they really want to be more in the background and not deal with all that stuff. But I always volunteer to take it. Sometimes to my dismay.
That's what it does, because you are kind of forced to become the glue to hold everything together just to get your job done. And that's all you're trying to do. Look, guys, I'm just trying to get my work done here, and need to communicate a little bit.
And my colorist is in Spain, like who I work with most of the time, Cici De La Cruz. She's in Spain. She's on a completely different timeline. English is not her first language. So I try to communicate with her, use Spanish as best I can, and get clarity. I don't want a bunch of people bombarding her with, hey, can you move this eye over here? Can you change the highlights over here? It's way more difficult. Sometimes I will consolidate those edits, and I will decide which ones of them are worth her time. And I don't bother her with some others because you're going to have to wait, 24 hours to get those edits, things like that. So, it's
if you're going to do that, you might as well color it yourself.
Yeah.
Is that why you what made you decide to do things traditionally? Is that part of the reason why?
No, I'm just not that smart. So it's hard for me to learn new things. I literally am a caveman when it comes to digital art. Now I'm not gonna say that. I've learned a lot over the last few years, but what I'm just now learning, you probably learned in 2004 on Photoshop. Like, I don't know how to do this stuff. So I learned everything traditionally. All of my mentors were doing it traditionally when I came in. So I just don't know how to do it. So I know that's another component. A lot of the editors are used to any stage of the coordination process. I could throw an edit because digitally, all we have to do is change it very easily. But I'm a traditional artist. My inker is a traditional inker. So any edits that we make, we have to physically do patches for, go old school, retracing
school,
each
yeah.
white, and that takes time. So I tried to say that also up front, that we are traditional art team, 75% traditional. So let's get all of the edits and all that stuff up front. Let's try to streamline it and get everything consolidated, and so this can go smoothly. But no,
Right.
I am thinking about learning how to use some type of digital art software, but I've been thinking about it probably for the last 10 years. So I don't think I'm gonna.
Yeah,
I don't.
well, I think there's a stronger movement towards traditional anyway with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
current time that we have now. So
Yeah, I think
I think I don't think you're losing anything there.
your decision to hold on in the traditional way, in the long run, I think it's panning out, and I think maybe you're in that cusp of the beginning of that, the
Yeah.
reward stage,
Mhm.
because of AI. And I'm
Oh yeah.
after listening to what you said, it makes me wonder, because when digital art started, you can cut a lot of corners and you can work much faster, and maybe that's part of the reason why art became like the pay for the publishers became cheaper to all the
Oh, yeah.
artists, and the demand for expediency became more. And maybe also the control, like hey, I want to do a redo. You can do it, right? It's just Photoshop or whatever. Use this, make it fast. So all the redo and the control could have been much more, because there's no thinking. There's more like expediency is such a top thing. And then also on top of that, I won't have to pay you as much because you're not spending a lot of time, which is not true, by the way. And
Right.
but if this, and then now we're at AI stage, which is even like triple or quadruple that, 10 times more of that now.
Mm-hmm.
So traditional artists like yourself and maybe me could have later on an advantage if we can. Maybe there's going to be a shift in some kind of gear. I don't know.
I know. I'm already seeing a shift. So, and I think it's a good shift. It's definitely benefiting the traditional artists.
So your writer friend, I forgot what his name was, the one you're working with together.
Todd DeZago.
Todd, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did Todd was the one who proposed to you? Hey, can you do traditional, or it was you who came up with that?
No, I've just always been traditional.
Yeah, that's his style. Yeah.
And,
Can you say who your colorist is?
Her name is Cici De La Cruz.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Okay.
CC,
Yeah.
Yeah.
famous. No.
I almost exclusively work with her now.
Uh-huh.
I love Cici. I love her work. She's so good. She's so nice.
Yeah.
She's so kind to these publishers when they want her to make several edits, and she's so innocent. She's like, I don't know if I should ask for more money. And I'm like, you just sit over there and color. I will tell them how much they're going to pay you. She's so nice. She'll just keep making change after change after change after change. And
Yeah.
that does take a tremendous amount of time. And I'm like, Cici, they're not just paying you for your time. They're
Yeah.
paying you for all the years that you learned how to do what you're about to do in 5 minutes. All that
Exactly.
stuff. Because, like Mark said, expediency is kind of the name of the game now, and I understand that. But there's so much nuance to what we do. And I think the outsourcing like if you want to outsource artificial intelligence to do a very mechanical thing because it speeds up calculations, okay, sure, use your tools to your advantage. But when it comes to things like poetry and painting, things that are the most human expression of the human condition, I don't think that outsourcing that to something that can only quantify that experience in these very tangible. It's just, it defeats the purpose of what it is. Can AI write a symphony? Absolutely, it does it every day. But can AI express the pain I feel through music right now? It's not necessarily that simple. So because storytelling is as old as people are, people have always used tools to help them tell stories. But in the end, it always comes back to a very human a very tactile, very tangible experience. People tell stories because they want to relate to the other humans telling stories. I don't think you're ever going to get that relation through such a cold method of expression. So I'm not worried about AI in the sense of it taking my job, but I have the same concerns as everyone else about what it's doing to art in general and artists. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I don't really class it as AI because it's not AI, because the algorithms that they're using on all these models, they've been using for years in the background. Google Maps have been using it. Amazon have been using it. They just slap on this AI label and make it as if it was something different. It's not. Right. It's just algorithms. They've been using it for years.
And there's certain aspects of it that are not going to be questionable, and there are aspects of it that does become questionable. And I think it's kind of important that you got to differentiate that. We're not going to escape AI completely.
No.
Definitely gonna.
I think the bubble is bursting because all these data centers are springing up everywhere, and people are sick and tired of them. And the city councils are lying through their teeth because all they're seeing is the money coming in. And so many times the city council have approved buildings, but then the public have come back and said, "Hang on a minute, we haven't voted for this at all. How are you approving this without us saying so?" Slow your roll and sit the fuck down.
This is how it got approved. That's how it got approved.
So many councils have been caught red-handed that they've been bribed. It's ridiculous. I think there was who was it? Was it Erin? I can't remember her name. She did that movie with Abramovich. Not Abramovich. Can't remember her name. She was. There was a movie about it with Julia Roberts. She was like a reporter.
Yeah, Erin Brockovich.
Erin Brockovich.
Yes. She's done a website that you can see all the data centers they're trying to build. There's hundreds all across the US. It's insane. And they need water to cool them, and they need so much power to keep them running. I mean, China, I think, are looking at putting them at the bottom of the sea because it's colder and easier to maintain. And it's just not sustainable. I mean, as soon as this bubble bursts, you're going to have all these data centers all over the country, and they're just not going to do anything.
Right. Yeah. They're sucking up a lot of other resources too, driving the market on the memory chips. They're
the RAM.
The RAM and all that, and so
they're hogging it all.
The destruction of books and literature and data that they can collect and hoard and hide it from us, so that way we only have access it through their center. Right. That's the scary part.
Yeah, the independent intelligence, all of that. But here's the thing, I'm wondering, this is kind of going back to the thing. I wonder, back in the days, say in the 70s and the 80s, right? I wonder how the editors really worked with their artists. Would they be constantly, hey, do another redo, because they already know how much it takes to get to that page. So will they be, I wonder what it was like as an artist working back then compared to now,
Probably slow.
It was.
They give you the time, and then also they gave them more money too. So
no, I don't think they weren't getting more money.
No, remember we had the old timers come to our show, and they were saying they're paid back then. When he heard a guy working in those big threes, he heard their pay parade thing. He was shocked because he realized he got paid more than them right now.
Yeah. But you also have to understand that the process was very slow back then, right? Because everything was mailed to them, and that took time. So you're going back and forth. Okay, here I'm sending page 1 to the editor, right? While you're working on page 2, And then by the end of page 2, page 1 comes back with redos.
So maybe they can't.
I thought they would. I thought they would be in the same like city, like Hollywood would be. You know, they have all the directors, the actors, you know, all the film sets and everything. I thought that it would be kind of similar for like comics, that they'd have all the people working on this project in the same area to make it faster. It's all posted.
And you can see this by looking at the old pages. Right? You can see if you look at old pages, you'll see like whiteouts. You'll see notes on the side from the editor, or even from the writer or the artist. They'll have notes, and you can kind of see like what's going on there. And if you talk to them, they'll talk over even as early in the 90s. Still, they were still FedExing, mailing pages to each other, and getting redos and stuff like
So
that.
I'm just wondering, like, because they know the process is so slow, and just to get another redo could be crazy. Then maybe they end up becoming like what Aaron's doing. Hey, here's a script. Just hand it in by this day, please.
No, that didn't happen. See, the other thing too is that
They didn't have Ezekiel.
They what do you call it?
What a biblical name.
They had a longer process to produce it because of that. I mean, it's still kind of like tight, but they gave them time, kind of like ample time, more time than I think what we have now to complete a comic. But they still had a very strict schedule that they're going to finish this within a month, because they're still releasing comics on a monthly basis. But and that was one of the reasons, like when you grab the comic book during that time, it might say you might be in the month of January, but the comic has March on it because they were trying to produce it and stay ahead of time in the schedule to be able to keep up on it.
So that's probably why there's so many mistakes in them then, because they had this time crunch that they had to get these out, even if they had a page mistake. If it was going to affect the release of the issue, then they just probably like, fuck it, it's going out anyway. No one's gonna notice.
Yeah, I've seen some pages with a lot of whiteout, and so they've had to do some major redos about back then. So anyway, we're at the top of the hour. Let's take a look at where we stand on the artwork. May not be much of this though, and then we're going to take a short break after this. Taking a look at Mog, you can kind of like see it there. And so we're looking at a bit of 250 on that. And
hey Mel,
yes.
If you'd like, we can blow off the break tonight.
No, I need to take a break.
All right, cool.
Okay. And so you'll take a look at that. We are looking for a bid for 250 on that. And then let's take a look at Eric.
I'm not as far
No,
ahead.
don't worry. Okay.
Wow, what the heck?
That's cool. Damn.
That's a good amount of work done already for this show. All right, so we are looking for a bid of 150 on that. All right, so when we come back, we're going to continue with Eric and Aaron and see where this art goes. All right, so don't go away. We'll be right back after this short break.
FOC, a comic industry term for the final day a new comic can be ordered by a local comic shop. So what does that mean to you? Well, it's your last chance to order a new comic book from your local comic shop. Order up! The FOC show will go over every book that's about to be cut off every Friday afternoon.
I'm going to highlight some of the stuff that I think is really worth paying attention to,
so that you can put in an order at your LCS for as many copies or as many variant covers as you want.
Sometimes the store needs to know to up their orders.
Never miss out on a popular comic again. Order up, part of the experience.
According to a statistic that I just made up, people spend 4 hours a day changing the television channel. People who watch The Experience don't do that. Save yourself a ton of time by tuning into The Experience and enjoying our new original programming 7 days a week. And then tell your friends. Think about the money they could save on batteries in the remote alone. just by tuning into the experience. Find out more by scanning the QR code below.
Sure, comic books are beautiful, but underneath, there's something more authentic and exciting. The original art. See the pencils, the lines, the shading, as if you were there in the studio watching the artist work. Getting a peek at comics' backstage is easy with the original art experience.
All right, Friday night, guys. Thank you for being here. To be doing anything, the fact that you're here means the world to me.
Nick's pieces are always value priced with your budget in mind, for the beginning collector to the veteran.
And this is gorgeous. You got Aquaman and Mira.
Join the original art experience with Nick and our friendly crew of regulars, even if it's just to enjoy the art. Fridays at 7. It's all part of the experience.
Lobo, it's so much fun to read you. So the first part of the story here is a bunch of assassins. Well, everybody's been basically told to go and kill Lobo by that one guy that has like a giant like half dome head with like screens all over it. I don't know that guy's name. He was introduced, or he's been around for a little while in the books. But it's funny to see the kind of characters that are sent after him and their interactions and who gets heads blown off when. But that's the front half of the story. And then the second half of the story, of course, Lobo does not get killed by anybody because that would be really, lame to have Lobo end right now in issue 5.
Twitch. It's not just what happens when you have too many energy drinks anymore. Check out our content over there too.
Hello. Sorry, Mel's still using the bathroom, so just give him a bit.
I'm here. It's the coffee machine is taking forever to make coffee.
Oh, you're drinking coffee at this hour?
Well, I'm making myself a cup of tea. I'm
Okay.
thirsty.
Oh, what kind of tea?
Just English.
Okay.
I don't do any of those weird fruit teas. I'm traditional.
Do you do the regular cream and sugar or just black tea?
For tea, I do it with milk. For coffee, I have sugar in.
Oh, you don't put
Milk
sugar
and
in your
sugar.
tea. Interesting.
Nope. No.
Wow.
But since I've only have powdered milk, I'll have to do. I usually put. Actually, found having like using the heavy cream.
Heavy cream.
Makes
Oh.
makes your tea and coffee look really nice. So I sometimes treat myself to that. Yeah, that's one of the things in America that's really weird. Is like everyone drinks black coffee or black tea, and it's like super weird.
Yeah, I can't do black coffee or just except tea. Tea I can do black, but yeah, it's kind of hard. What about you, Eric? Do you even drink caffeine at all?
No, I don't drink coffee or tea. No. I can't handle caffeine. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I don't respond to caffeine very well. So I haven't. Typically don't have it at all.
Yeah, I live off that stuff. I can't live without it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people that do, but I never really got started with it, so it's not hard for me to go without at this point.
Yeah. It was funny. We went to back to the UK not long ago for my dad's 75th, and it was my parents drink probably 8 cups of tea and coffee a day, and it was like they just finished, or they were like having a cup of tea, and my wife went in to make herself a drink, and she comes back in, and they're all like, "No, you're not making us one." Like, you literally have your tea in your hand.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not the point. You didn't ask.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
It's an interesting.
So that's why when I cook as well, all the food's like piping hot. So like I'm there shoveling it into my face, and like my wife and son were like, "We have to let it cool down. We have not had as much coffee and tea as you've had to burn our like taste buds." Like,
Right.
I want my food hot. Okay.
Right. I'm with you on that one. I agree.
Yeah, I want my food hot, and if it's cold, it better be freaking cold, like ice cream. I hate like melty ice cream. Some people like it. I will not stand by if you give me half melted ice cream. Don't even give it to me.
I used to love mixing ice cream with yogurts. I used to do that a lot as a kid.
Wow, that sounds interesting.
That sounds
Yeah,
good.
I used to get the like the banana strawberry yogurts and stuff like that. Used to put it on top of the ice cream and then stir it up. So it was, oh, so good.
Wow.
Being an ice cream aficionado, that sounds gross. But to each
Not
his
until you
own.
try it. My parents said it was gross until they tried it and they went, "Damn, this is good."
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try it myself.
I've
Yeah,
seen
it's like
people do that. Yeah. The
Yeah, I
only
used to
thing
do
that
weird
looks good about it is like when you see different colors swirling, and it just looks like paint.
Oh yeah.
So as a writer, I know a lot of people who write. I have quite a lot of writer people I know, and they drink a lot, like alcohol wise. So do you, after like you finish like a page, you reward yourself?
Being British, especially Scottish, I don't need an excuse to drink.
Oh, okay.
It's usually when I'm writing, I'll have my gin next to me, and it helps. But then, if I'm playing a computer game, my gin's next to me. If I'm watching TV, the gin's next to me. So it's not a writing requirement, but it helps. I mean, usually when I'm writing, I have like TV in the background as well, and or music playing. So everyone has their different ways of doing it.
Interesting. Isn't gin really bitter? Like you don't drink it with anything else?
No, yeah, I have it as a cocktail. I put Fresco in there, pineapple juice, European measurements of gin, and usually fruit, bits of fruit in there. So as a dessert after it, because it soaks up all the gin.
Yeah.
And then eat the fruit and then go and grab more.
Nice. That sounds really good, man. Sounds good.
Yeah, I got my wife's best friend hooked on it because I made it for I can't remember the reason, and she now calls it "God Save the Queen" because it saved her and she's the queen.
Wait.
So.
It sounds like a very fruity type of like almost a martini, like a.
Yeah, I mean it's fruity and it goes down really smooth, but mine's a bit more powerful because I European measurements, but there's so many different ways you can different fruits and stuff you can put in it. So it really towards your own taste.
So is European measurement bigger than US measurement?
Mine is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Also, this is basically errand measurement, not just.
Yes. Yeah. No
Okay.
real measurements, more how many glugs I decide to put in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I remember that I made a drink for one of my wife's friends, and she drank half the glass and was pretty much half cut, and she walked out and like gave me the rest. She was like almost drunk off half a glass.
God.
I mean, Americans are lightweights anyway. Come on, let's be honest.
Oh my God! Americans like.
I mean, Scotland drank Boston out of alcohol, and they wouldn't touch Budweiser because shit.
Wait. But compared to like Scotland and English guys and Irish, so who's the ranking drinks the most?
Probably Scottish.
Really, not Irish. Interesting.
I would say Scottish, but I'm kind of biased.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. You'd have to Google that to get a more accurate answer. I would say Scottish, but like I said, I'm biased.
Wow, I never heard of Scottish people drinking like they're very like.
I mean, we drank because either you're bored or it was shit weather. It make you, it warm you up. So back in my younger days, I was like drinking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because Wednesday was grab a granny night in the local bars. Thursday was ladies drank for free. No, it was half price for women, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday you were out clubbing. So generally, the whole culture revolved around drinking. Like one
Wow.
form or another. Yeah.
I love the fact that
I've-
ladies drink for free. That's awesome.
No, it was sorry. It was half price for the ladies.
half price still.
Yeah.
That's common though. Ladies get in free. Ladies get drinks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's how you get the
The-
men to come in and pay for everything.
Pretty much. Yes.
It's a
Just
trap.
suffice to say, when the end of the month comes, we're all skint and waiting for the paycheck to come back in.
With a paycheck.
Yeah, because you look at it, right? You look at the scene now, right? The nightlife now, right? Women are freaking all dressed up, made up. They got these nice little skimpy dresses that they wear to go out to the clubs and whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very, very posh looking. Now look at the guy, right? He's got like jeans on, a t-shirt, still looking like some rat that just came off the street. Not all, but they all kind of look like that, right? Why is that? Because he's saving his money just so that way he can get in and buy drinks.
Hey, much he knows where his money's going.
So
But it's strange. It's like my son's generation. They're not interested in alcohol much at all. It's crazy how much it's changed.
Yeah.
But what about vaping? They're really into vaping though.
I don't even know about that either, man. No, I don't see that. They don't want to drive. They don't want to drink.
No.
Yeah, and they don't want to get married.
Oh
Yeah.
wait. But is your son into like games?
Yes. Roblox.
Yeah, they're all they're all into.
Yeah. There you go. There's your answer.
Yep, that's what he does. He pretty much plays on his computer for 95% of the time.
Yeah, and then that's where he socializes too. So.
This is for Stevie B.
Are we doing advertisement too?
Advertise them out.
He in the chat he goes, yeah, that's worse, but I'd kill for a Diet Coke right now.
Yeah. But Aaron, so back to your first it was Fire and Blood and now it's Ice and Bone,
Sun and
right?
Ice. Yeah, Ice and Bone.
Yeah.
Like, what made you? Since you seem to be very like Scottish proud, of course you should be anyway. But what made you suddenly do something like totally like a far Eastern culture thing? How did you get this? Did you marry like a Japanese lady? Like, what happened?
No, my wife's American. It's in America. Yeah, and I came here legally. Cost a fortune. I always loved, like I said before, started with anime. One of the first animes I actually watched was Akira, and the second one was Ninja Scroll.
Oh,
Loved it. It's so amazing. It hooked me on anime straight away. Samurai Champloo, Samurai X, Sword of the Stranger. So many different like samurai, and I loved them all. They were so cool.
Yeah, Ninja Scrolls was really gritty and very
sexual.
That
yes,
and
dark.
That just pushed the envelope in many directions during that time.
I mean, it like I said, it hooked me, and I loved anime ever since. The Blood and Fire actually came about through Ezekiel, who I follow on his Instagram. He posted an image on his Instagram, and I commented, "Oh, this make a kick-ass character in a comic strip." And he goes, "Well, write one, and I'll do the artwork." So I started writing. Blood and Fire actually was the quickest I've written a script. I think I did it in 2 weeks. It wrote itself.
No way.
If not quicker. I can't remember how long it took me. It did not take me very long. Ice and Bone did take me longer because I did more research for the supernatural elements. I wanted to be more mythical set in Japan. But yeah, I kind of looked at the time zone, looked at I wanted it to be chaotic. So luckily, when it's set in the 16th century, the country is basically during a civil war. The government has lost control. Warlords are kind of running the muck in the countryside, doing their own thing. And the main characters are kind of made up. The kind of premise is as grounded as I could make it, with the supernatural, elements in there as well. So yeah, it wrote itself. I'd say, did I actually write it? I don't know. I think the characters wrote themselves. It just flowed naturally. It was supposed to be like I said, it was supposed to be a 3-issue arc done. But I wanted to bring muskets in it, and because strangely enough, when I launched issue 1 of Ice and Bone, Shogun came out literally the same week. So it was like very weird how that kind of jived together. And because I loved the muskets, but I couldn't put it into Blood and Fire, it didn't fit into the storyline. But I wanted to bring that in, and then Ice and Bone allowed me to do that with the backstory, new characters coming in, new warlord taking over, and that allowed me to bring that in with the characters and continue the storyline. So I was really, really happy with it, and it's been a great series. It's probably one of my biggest, to be honest. Though, fully enough, the first issue didn't fund. Blood and Fire 1 failed. But, I cried, had a few gins. What's one of the biggest things about the comic community is they give great advice. They did for me. And I came back bigger and stronger, and I'm on my last issue now. So don't give up. Come back.
Wow.
That's my biggest advice.
What was the hardest part, do you think, about doing a Kickstarter campaign? I did it before to fund my own creator-owned book, and it was I learned a lot while I was doing it. But as far as like coming up with rewards and different things for people to get engaged, what would you say is the hardest part for a person to think about before they get ready to do a campaign? What was the hardest part about fulfilling some of those promises or rewards?
Yeah, you have to be very careful, especially if it's your first Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
I would always advise anyone who's doing it for the first time, spend time getting into the comic community, join Facebook groups, talk to other creators, network, back other people's campaigns, look at the genre you're going to write in and create, look at other campaigns and see what they've done and successfully done. Don't steal their ideas, but look at what's worked. And if you can adapt that into your campaign, do it. I mean, Mr. Fish did delayed shipping as an add-on, where for $1, he'd reimburse your shipping, especially for like international ones. You keep the items, and then if you back the next issue or another series, then you can send all the items together, which save you money. That is a great idea. I messaged him, said, that's a great idea. Can I steal it for my campaigns? He said yes. So all my campaigns, if you're an international shipper, international backer, you can't afford $25 for international shipping, especially when the comic itself is only $15. You can add this add-on. I'll reimburse you the shipping. I'll keep the book. You go to any of my other series. If you're a big backer, then I'll send $5-6 when they're all contained. Issue 1, people think that's the hardest. Strangely enough, I found issue 2 is the hardest to get through, because people are interested in the storyline, and then for whatever reason, like some people back the first one, see if they like it, and then wait for the trade. Obviously, you still have to get 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is to get to the trade before and people come back. So it's very difficult to sometimes to get those returned. The reason why I think that Blood and Fire, the first one, didn't fund is because I was holding a lot of the rewards back for the next one, for issue 2 and 3. So the biggest advice I got was don't leave anything in the cupboard, put everything on the table. If you've got stuff you can do, bring it and show it, and allow the backers to make the decision whether they want to add it or not, rather than you make the decision for them, and they pass on. So I do comic bundles as well. So luckily I'm in other groups that other creators, give me PDFs for free that I can then pass on to backers as well. So for, I think 30, it starts at 30 and then goes every 10, a new PDF gets unlocked. So I do that for most of my campaigns to try and give back to the community. That allows other potential readers to find their stuff. If they like it, then they can go and follow their campaigns for the next issues and kind of go from there. I think most of the issues I've had is getting more word out, marketing, getting new readers, new fans and stuff like that. That I think that is a constant battle, that if anyone works out what the secret sauce is, please tell me.
Yeah, I used to think it was because you have to have the best art and the best story, but sometimes it's not even that. It's something completely different. It's just.
I mean, there is some great stories out there that don't fund, and there's absolute garbage out there. AI generated images and stuff that seem to get tens of thousands of dollars, and it's like, all you have to do is just write the prompts yourself and get the images. But why are you back in this trash? And they've got very little artwork. The story sounds okay, but I mean, I don't know. It's some people seem to bypass a lot of I would say the greater indie comics on Kickstarter, and sometimes it's ruining. I mean, I get stressed. My wife would tell me I don't sleep during the 30 days of campaigns and stuff until even if I do reach funding and I do fairly well, it's like, okay, so I've reached funding, but how many cards are going to error at the end?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a constant thing, but again, I would not be doing it without it. I mean, I cannot afford to make comics without Kickstarter, full stop. I hope that's the same.
Yeah, some people are experimenting. There's very few that do it without Kickstarter. And you might know who Zen is, who's out of New York. He's doing his. He's gotten over 10,000 produced of his book, of his graphic novels. So he seems to be doing an amazing job getting his books out there without Kickstarter or any type of campaign, just by soliciting it, getting interviews and marketing, getting toy deals and anime deals as well. That has helped to that. Not everybody's able to do that, but
I mean, when if Amazon come knocking on my door to make Blood and Fire into an anime film, I'm like, yes, please.
Yeah, but it basically comes down to presentation, and this is something that I've explained and tried to let Mog in on that, right? And we do our own thing as how we present ourselves at the shows, and she can see the improvements with how things are presented on our table and stuff, and it works, right? So and it's a matter of figuring that out, and same thing with Kickstarter. It's a matter of like looking at it. You said the right thing there by looking at other people to see like what they're doing. Look at the guys that are successful with their campaigns. Try to find what I would add to that is try to find campaigns that are similar to the type of material, the book that you're producing. Okay, so if you're doing some cartoon animation, don't look at Brian Pulido to see how he does his campaign. It doesn't match, right? There might be some things you can take from that, but try to find others that are like more similar to like what you want to put out, and that'll give you an idea.
And message them, because I did the Amor Patris. I actually looked at on Kickstarter for like supernatural horror, and each big successful campaign, I messaged the creators and said, would you be willing to pitch in a PDF of your comic? I mean, it could be the issue, or it could be like an 8 to 10 page ashcan.
Yeah.
Most of the, some didn't respond. Some said they couldn't do it for like, copyright or publishing reasons. Like, okay, but they still replied back. But some did say yes, and they, those comics or ashcans got added to the comic bundle, and it's just those little things that people take notice of. Like, oh, you got that comic. How did you get that comic? It's a conversation, because it's something to put into your updates as well. Oh, I'm two backers away from unlocking this free gift, because you kind of want to give something to the backers, because it's their hard-earned cash that they are helping fund your project, and I'll never take it for granted, because they, I do back occasionally when I can afford it. It's not as often as I would like, but because, to be honest, there's so many good comics out there, good creators out there. I'd probably spend all the money I've just funded on other people's comics. So I have to be very self-conscious, and
That does help when you go to a campaign and you see that the creator has like backed so many other projects. Right? You know,
it does
you do
help.
feel like, okay, you know, and if you're a creator yourself, right, you know, that does give you a little bit of an incentive to back this project as well, if it is something that does interest you or that you like. So I do see that has like an impact. The sharing of the PDF files, that I think is a really good idea, because that's a great way to increase your perceived value on the campaign. And for the other creators that are donating those PDFs, that's a great way to introduce their campaigns to another audience that they may not be reaching, and pull. Hopefully, that'll be enough to like pull them over. You don't have to share the whole issue, you know, but just maybe just a few intro pages or something. Just so that they can get a taste and a feel of it, you know.
Yeah.
So, like a little teaser. So yeah. So
Yeah.
for somebody that
you
doesn't want to participate in that, to me is I don't know. That's just like, I think you're just missing an opportunity there if you don't
It's
participate.
usually, if it's the first, you know, if I've got like one first or two issues, I'll do a ash can for the series.
Mhm.
As I get to like the third issue, I'll start sending the first issue out to the full
Mhm.
issue. Because it's probably one of the biggest ways that I get new influx of fans and readers is through sending my stuff out to other creators to use as like freebies or stretch goals. Also in updates as well. That's one of the big things that I'd like to do, is put like indie spotlights on my updates. So I give the main part, you know, thanks to the backers, and then I'll add one or two other creator campaigns at the bottom.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay, yeah.
That's a good idea.
Let me go back to Eric here. Eric, with your coaching and stuff, do you incorporate your artwork in part of your training when you coach your basketball?
No, absolutely not. No, I've tried to incorporate art at different junctures, like different sections of my life. Not the coaching part. No.
So that it's totally separate. But does your group know that you're an artist? Just curious.
I don't. You know what? I actually don't know.
Okay.
All
right. So that's not something you really put out to them.
No. I typically try to keep it separate. I don't know if I'm doing this subconsciously or not, but no, I don't typically. That's kind of one of the things that I like about comics, that if I'm at a show, I can sit at a table and suddenly, because I'm in this environment, people care. But I can leave the show 10 minutes later and just stand in the grocery store and nobody cares. That might bother some people. For me, I need that. Like, I need that separation.
Okay, gotcha.
Absolutely. Yeah. Only thing I got recognized once when I was living in Germany, and it was some person that had seen the movie, and they yelled out. It was in a Taco Bell. Shout out Taco Bell, not a sponsor, by the way. So was in Taco Bell, and some random German person just blurted out the name of the movie or something. Nobody had any clue what this guy was talking about. He knew, and it was exciting for him. But no, I like the separation, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the separation too. I think if I was coaching somebody, I would never ever disclose what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of bad if you think about it. It could be like we're shooting ourselves in the foot, saying we could be promoting, doing the cross marketing, but
yeah, I
don't know why. Something is like it prevents it from happening, doing that.
Yeah, I'm a weird person. I'm blessed to be in a position where I get to do commissions, or I get to do projects that I want to work on, and I don't feel I just got to a place in my life where I feel zero pressure whatsoever to be relevant, to have art hitting the stand every month. Like I'm in such a comfortable place with what I do when I choose to do it. The stuff I've already gotten a chance to draw characters that I remember loving when I was a kid or younger, and I'm just so full. Like I'm so fulfilled currently. So I don't. I mean, I honestly I live in a way where no matter what I do, comic art finds me. You know, I don't necessarily go out, but it's such a part of my life that, you know, I might go a month or so not doing something, but when the right project comes along, the right person gives me a phone call, my inker, half the jobs that I've ever gotten have been just because the inker did a lot of networking and they needed an artist that was quick and maybe cheap. And so they called me, and so I'm just glad to be invited. Every time I'm invited to do something that's fulfilling, I enjoy it. But I don't know. I'm probably not the best person for like younger, ambitious artists to talk to, because I don't necessarily have that. My mantra right now for making books is, and I adopted it a couple of years ago. It was creating stuff that I like with people that I love. That matters more. The people, like your relationship with your artist, my relationship with the writer. It's just fun working with these people, having an opportunity to share ideas with them. The process matters more to me than the outcome. And so I never push that part of my identity. I'm blessed that part of my identity kind of makes room for me at times. But it is exhausting though for like creators that have this burning, and I know that feeling. I've got to get this story out. I've got to tell this story. I've got to. And I still feel that. I still have moments of, man, I have a really great idea. And I want to get that out, but I'm just really comfortable at the pace that it's happening. You know, I guess, if that makes any sense. I don't know.
Here's a quick question for you, Eric.
Yes, sir.
Twofold. One, what has been your favorite character to, you know, what's your favorite cover you've done?
I mean, I would say that it's whatever cover that I'm working on at the time, because that's the correct, that's the politically correct answer. But I've done some covers where it was just a job, and I haven't really connected to it. I think a moment that made a difference for me was getting, I think it was TMNT number 106. That was my first time doing a Ninja Turtle cover. And I think that when that moment happened, just getting to do the Turtles, just, I don't know, just having a tiny, tiny, tiny piece of the tapestry of that world and say, I did that once. That was I would say probably my favorite. But when we get off the stream, I'll probably remember another one that I can't remember right now. But that's the one that comes to mind.
Okay. And what the second one would be, if there was a series out there that you haven't touched yet, what would it be that you'd want to like dive into?
I used to have good answers for this question, and I think now, honestly, it wouldn't be a pre-existing one unless it's another chapter of the creator-owned series that I wrote, because I pushed that aside to take, other jobs that I was interested in. But there's always a piece of me that's like, I would like to finish that story, or just write an outline and give it to a real writer and let another artist finish it. Like I don't have to be the one that does it.
Yeah.
But I would say it's either that. But if I had to pick a mainstream character, I think I was always fascinated with taking over doing Silver Surfer. That's something that's a character that I grew up. My father absolutely loved the Silver Surfer. I always liked his nobility and where the story could go, which is literally anywhere because it's in space. so you can go in any
Yeah.
direction. And even though there have been some really great Silver Surfer stories and art, I do feel like that character is one that's never been fully tapped into because it kind of runs the same route as a lot of really powerful characters. Your Franklin Richards, your Supermans, where you don't really know exactly where to go with them. But I mean, I like the Silver Surfer. I would take a shot at Silver Surfer. If Mike Mignola ever, wanted someone else to see where else Hellboy can go after he died and went to hell, I think it'd be a fun assignment to try to figure that out. Or the Incredible Hulk.
I can see your style really mesh well with Hellboy.
Yeah,
I never thought of it that way, but I think your style would like be killer Hellboy.
I'm just grateful that you think I even have anything to call a style. That's a compliment. But I appreciate that. No, that's
all right, Eric. How can these guys? Do you have a website where people can go to check you out?
Absolutely, yeah. I am erickinsonart.com. I know it's going to be really hard to remember, but yeah, now erickinsonart.com, and from that website, it has all of the socials on it where you can reach. But that would be the main place that you can see. I post artwork there pretty regularly.
And I gotta say, Eric is very, very modest. Okay, but when you take a look at his artwork, you're gonna see that he's a fantastic artist.
Yeah, it was to the point where I don't know why he even came to me and talked, because I was like, "What? You're talking to me?" It was just incredible moment in my life. Like
I was very intimidated by you, Mog.
I'm super intimidated. I wouldn't even go near your table because I'm so scared to talk to you.
No, you had already done, some stuff that I respected.
It was crazy.
Your art style to me is just so unique. It reminds me of a lot of the art that I would see kind of like coming out of Japan during the RPG eras. A lot of like the Final Fantasy like guidebooks and the art that they're.
Yeah, everybody relates to Yoshitaka Amano as. So that.
Yeah. So I thought you would be thinking to yourself, why is this peon approaching me? Why is this nobody coming to my table? No. And then Mel, you're like a very scary enforcer bodyguard type guy. So I was like, this guy's he's like her bouncer, and he's gonna like bounce me away from the table. But I was grateful that you were so nice to me when I met you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I get that all the time.
Mary, you have a very Mel, you have a very scary.
I get that all the time. I'm not really scary once you get to know me. I'm a freaking mouse.
No, he's actually scary. Don't trust him. He's very scary. Yeah.
You got to watch out for him, the quiet ones.
Maybe it's because both of you have military background.
Mm-hmm.
That could be part of it, yeah.
I bet you Eric is scary when he's a coach. I bet Eric is scary as a coach.
When they're losing.
I don't think I'm ever scary. Maybe I know I have a look that doesn't look very inviting, but I'm just like when I think what I would like to exude is just gratefulness. Like I know it may sound cliche, but I'm so glad to even like to be on this show, to be invited, to be asked to be anywhere. So I do want to shed whatever mean mug that I give people. It's not easy, but I'm trying because I just want people to have a good experience when they come to the table. I want, to be able to look up at them, look them in their eye, be there in the moment with them, appreciate the stuff that they appreciate. And the fact, like, I know it's cool that people draw. It's great. But when I was a kid, I realized what I do really won't mean much if there's not somebody to look at it. If I just sit in my room with a bunch of pretty pictures around me, sure, I might have expressed myself and I might feel better, but it's not doing its intended purpose to go out into the world and like help other people forget their problems for 10 minutes or focus on something or find a passion or whatever it is. So, yeah, I'm just trying to be more like you, Mel, and more like you, Mo. I don't know you that well, Aaron, but you seem like a very agreeable fellow.
Maybe.
No.
Wow.
I am the result of my environment.
Wow.
I don't know, Mog. You seem kind of scary. You've never gotten that. Nobody's ever told you that before.
What, then I'm
Not
scary.
to a face, they're too scared.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm scary.
No.
Oh.
So like when people do people ever come up to you at shows and ask you to take a look at their portfolio, take a look at their work? All right. Does that happen a lot to you?
Yeah. Do you know most of the time though, when people come up to the table and they do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That review critique gets passed on to me because Molly's like busy talking to somebody else, and you know you have like people in front of your table, and so you're trying to move the line along as you can. But sometimes Mog will handle the review, but a lot of times it'll end up with me. That's basically how Mog and I met.
Okay.
Is because I had my own. I had a production studio with another artist from the 90s that has worked on Marvel, DC, and all that stuff, and was part of Image and whatnot. So Mog and her friends came along in the early 2000s, showed us their work, and I reviewed it all, critiqued it all, and did all that. So we just kind of got used to it that, you know, that's going to be mainly my responsibility to handle the portfolio reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Aaron? How can our audience find you? What's the best way for them to locate you?
Mainly Instagram. So at Rublevsky Aaron. All my series has their own Facebook group. So Amor Patrice, Enenra, Blood and Fire, Ice and Bone, and Blizzard Creation. So they're usually the best way to get in touch with us. Usually the creator on Facebook, on Kickstarter, has all the links to all my socials.
Okay. All right. So you guys get that information down. Head over there. Check out the campaign. It is on the final issue. So hopefully you'll like it enough to support it, back it. Yeah. And we'll keep in touch with Eric too and the projects that he'll be working on. Do you have any cons left to do, Eric, or are you pretty much done for the year?
Oh, I'm not doing any this year. I think next year, I think next year and the year after will be kind of like the press window for the book that I'm doing.
Okay.
So I'm just waiting until then.
All right. So you didn't do any shows this year at all?
No, not one.
Oh,
I was scheduled for one, and then I had to cancel it at the last minute because something came up. But I was the only one that I was even scheduled for. So rare for me, but I'll get back to it.
All right.
I want to have new work to show people when that time comes.
Yeah. That's always something that you got to be. Well, I think you should be concerned about is being able to show new work, because or else you're just going to look the same from year to year, and while everybody else is like putting new stuff in. That's always like my concern is like, okay, so New Year is starting. What new work am I going to be showing there that's going to get people to come back and say, ooh, wow, you know, instead of just saying, hey, Mel and Mog, nice seeing you again, you know, which we like still, you know, but we're there to make money. And so, you know, the New York work does help, and we want to show that. Aaron, how about you? You hitting it out there, going to shows?
This year, because of table prices have skyrocketed. The ones I did last year, I couldn't go back. But I'm at Cumberland Con, hopefully they haven't released the names yet, but
yeah,
I'm hoping to be there in October in Somerset, Kentucky, and then there's a local one basically right next to me in Paducah, Kentucky in November. So it's like a day con there. That's it, really. I did Nashville last year, but their prices went through the roof. So
really? What are they asking for now?
They were $600.
Ooh, wow, that is high.
Yeah, it was 150 the year before, and it was like, really? Am I looking at this right? Yeah.
Wow, that is a
$600
huge jump.
I'm like, not affording that. No chance. So,
do the tables float now or something? Or?
I don't know. I hope the gold plated or something. But yeah, it was way out my price range. So yeah, but to be honest,
that's out of my price range too.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of cons because it's exhausting. Because I'm working at travel all the time in a hotel for work. So it's like when a weekend comes, I just want to crash and do nothing. So I kind of try and space out the cons that I try and go for to so they're not straight after each other. So I have a bit of breathing room. So yeah, I just have to hope next year be better. I can go out to a bit more. Have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's like us too. Like we just finished Fan Expo Chicago. So I go in on Thursday and I set up. I go in on Friday with Mog and we do the show, right? And that was a very extensive day because we're involved in so many events that went all the way up to like 11 p.m. That's pretty late for me, past my bedtime. By the time in the morning when I got up, I was like so out of it. I didn't show up on Saturday at all. Mog went on her own. And then on Sunday, I was still feeling out of it. These old bones just has a hard time handling that kind of a schedule. So I didn't show up until like 2 or 3 o'clock just to mainly break down and haul out of there. And I think I'm going to probably be ending up doing more of that. So you're going to be seeing me less at the shows. But yeah, we've got Dallas is coming up in about a couple of weeks. We haven't been there in a couple of years. I'm getting a lot of messages from people there asking for things. So I'm glad that they still remember us now. Thankful for that. We'll be happy to see them. So if you guys are there in Dallas, come check us out. We'll be there in Artist Alley. Nice. We'll be in, I will have a SketchUp panel, a live version there. So where you can get like free sketches. We have Don Mateague that'll be there. Who else? Larry Houston will be there as well. And I can't forget like another artist or so, but I forget who they're all because I'm scheduling these at each of the shows, and I can't remember everybody. That's all that's going to be there. Bill McKay. That's who we have. So we have Don Mateague, Bill McKay, Larry Houston at the Dallas show. And then 2 weeks after that, we'll be at Baltimore. The SketchUp live panel there. We'll have Afuo Richardson, Adriana Mello, Jason Metcalf, Philip Ginn, Stephen Yu, Philip Ginn, and Trish Forstner will be there as well. So we've got a really good lineup for the Baltimore show. Then we'll be, after that, it'll be New York. Don't have a panel for that one. Right. And for the Dallas Expo, we will be doing the Comic Explosion. So if you guys haven't seen that, you can check that out. Mog will be involved in that. And that's going to be a late night after dark event that'll go on until probably close to midnight as well. Right. So, yeah, that's the schedule, at least for the next 2 months. And there's more after that, but we'll stay with that.
So you guys are kind of homebodies, right? Because you work at home.
Yeah. yeah, I work from home or traveling for work. So one of the other.
How do you guys like try to at least get out of the house once a day and go walk or something? Like, how do you maintain your physical health?
Well, Eric is a basketball coach. So that's pretty good for him.
Well, I just
This is my
I yell at
exercise.
other people and they run. No, I mean, I think it's important to find something that you can always gravitate to, not to spend too many hours hovering over a desk. It is a very, at least for me, so I find like it's a very isolating career field. You guys have each other, Mog and Mel, and it's great to just have someone to physically be there with. I never got to work in like a studio setting, like ever. Everything I've ever done has been like you're talking about remotely, sending in art, emailing back and forth. So like a lot of times I'll work for years with people and never meet them until I see them at a show. I know that's common for a lot of people. But yeah, I mean, like Aaron alluded to, it's not going to look the same for everybody. But I do think, yeah, to have something that you can do to, even if it's just getting outside of your house and walking around your block, or, you know, one thing that's helped, just like people who work a 9 to 5 or whatever their hours are, to actually take a lunch, like legitimately go, even if it's just going and sitting down in your kitchen, sit down and actually take a lunch. Not only is that good for your mental health and just the routine of it all, but almost every problem that I've ever encountered on my artwork, once I walk away and take some time, I come back instant solution. Half of the time, I don't even recognize that there is a problem because I'm staring at it so long I can't see it. So forcing yourself to get up, it's an exercise, yes, for your body, but also for your artistic muscles. It's really important to get up, do something else, maybe something physical, just get different wheels turning. But it is difficult to do.
Yeah. Yeah, we do walks and bikes and hikes. So even tonight, right after this show, Mog and I are actually going to do like a 3-mile bike ride, and we're actually looking forward to that because it's a nice way to just kind of relax and just let everything loose, you know. And the trail, the path that we go is well lit, you know, and it's actually a little romantic, you know. So we get a little thrill from that just by riding that. There's like other people there too, not too crowded.
Yeah.
But
You saucy devil.
Not that it's going to head in that way, but it's something that we do enjoy. Yeah, so that's our thing. I want to thank you guys for joining us. I had an incredible time having you guys here. Happy to have you here, Eric. I'm finally glad that you made it.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks for reaching out and letting us know that you're available. Right. So next week we will be having some new people on the show. We will have Dylan Gilbertson and his writer Jason will be joining us, and we may have some other people as well. But right now, that's what we have scheduled. So we hope to see you then. And I want to thanks to Aaron and Eric for being with us. Check out their website, give them some support, and we'll see you guys next week. All right, you guys take care. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.